Hi, I'm V.
And I'm T.
And this is VT Reviews.
Okay. We saw Prometheus separately. So I've seen it the most recent. You saw it probably
I saw it opening weekend.
Yeah. So I think it's been open in Australia for about 2 weeks. I think in America longer.
I mean, Ridley Scott has come out and said that this is not a direct prequel to Alien.
Yet we see an alien in it.
And it morphs in the end, like it changes in its DNA and it looks more like the alien we see in the movies. Yes. I'm of the belief, because he said true fans of Alien will see, you know, it's got some of the alien DNA in it, like in the story. I think he was sequel baiting and he wants, because I honestly do feel there needs to be a movie in between Prometheus and Alien. We need to know what happened in that middle bit.
Yes,
and
that would be helpful.
A prequel is just, I mean, a prequel is meant to be different. It's meant to be a new story, different characters, different themes, but it's meant to have threads of the original story in it. And this did.
So we're not going to go through the plot because everybody has already seen it who wanted to see this movie. Now, before I saw it, because I saw it a little bit late, I was excited. I asked a lot of people who went to see it what they thought of it, and a lot of them said they hated it, and a lot of them said they loved it. So I was like, oh, is this going to be really controversial or something? Like, is it raising issues? I didn't want to know any of the plot before I went. It was interesting to get people's reactions, especially when they're so different.
I think that might have spurned from hardcore old school Alien fans versus just people who knew a little bit about Alien and who liked it but weren't invested in the series, I guess, because it was a pretty big series back in its day.
Yeah. If
you disregard, you know, Alien 3 and 4 and then the Alien vs Predators,
which was awesome.
So the first 2 movies were great.
I think that there's a division in the reviews because after seeing it, I see that this movie has a lot of great ideas. There's a lot of questions that the movie's trying to raise, like, what if our God wasn't a God? What if it was just another species? You know, what would you do if you met your God? What would you say? What would you do if you find out
that they wanted to
destroy you? There's a lot of themes about self-sacrifice for creation. There's a lot of themes about religion. And there's a lot of themes about humans being selfish.
So the main thing I kind of got out of it, the main theme would be like science versus faith.
Yeah.
Especially Numi's character, the main character.
Yeah.
Sure. She sort of embodies that because she goes in with such faith, but then she sort of adapts as, you know, things happen that kind of ruin her faith, I guess.
Yeah.
And she starts leaning more towards the science aspect, I guess. And it's very science heavy. Like, she's an archaeologist and, I mean, effectively, she's gone to find aliens. So
yes, and she's a scientist, and she has such a strong belief in these creators.
Yeah, like I believe when she goes, her reasons for going are very different to the guy's reason for going.
Yeah, I agree.
I think hers are really more faith based, and you know, she wants to see who created us and why and stuff like that, but not for so we can study them sort of thing, but more for a human evolutionary.
She's just, it's human curiosity, which is another thing that they raise a lot, that we do it just because we want to. We do things just because we want to know the answers. And that's a good thing. It's, the plot's a shaggy dog and it's just a mess. And there are things in it that it don't mesh well with ideas on such a grand scale. And that's what makes it disappointing and a little bit infuriating. I was angry when I walked out of the cinema.
That is one thing I will bring up. I might just be really stupid, but I totally don't understand what that first scene was. Like when he's drinking the thing and then his legs collapse and I was like, what is happening? I don't know. I just don't know. We did talk about was how the other people on the ship didn't know what was happening until they were on the ship and until they'd been...
You know you're in a bad movie when the characters don't even know what's happening until they've gone through a stasis of 2 years or 200 years or whatever they went through to get to a place.
That's when they find out what they're there for. And I'm like, I would not sign up for a mission like that. If you came to me and you said, hey, we're going somewhere, I'm going to pay you, but I'm not going to tell you what happens until 2 years after, you know, we've left and you've been asleep.
Miles away from Earth.
And I'd be like, no, I think I'm just going to play my PlayStation.
Might pass that one. Yeah, pass that one on to the next guy.
I might just
palm it off.
Watch some movies. I don't really want to go to space if I don't know what's happening.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like they had 2 separate writers and one of them was writing a B-grade horror movie. And one of them was writing like an epic sci-fi religious drama. And then they got together 3 days before writing and was like, oh my God, you're writing that?
And they merged it together.
And I was like, no time for a rewrite.
Just stick it together and just hope it fits.
just get it out there.
But it's the kind of movie that you could just see for action and for like stunning visual effects, and you'd be quite happy with that if that's all you wanted from a movie.
And a lot of people get on your back if you say, you know, you like a movie just because it looks great. I don't agree with that because it is a visual medium. In regards to the movie, I wouldn't personally recommend it to anybody because I find it really infuriating plot-wise, because I know that it could have been so much better than it turned out to be.
Ooh, you're a hater.
I know, I am. I am actually coming down on the hate side on this one. I wouldn't recommend it. It is not a fun romp for me. It's an angry romp.
That's not a romp. It's just a rage pile. I'm sort of on the fence. I mean, I sort of went in there not expecting all that much.
Okay.
I was sort of, I mean, like, I love Alien and Aliens. I just really...
You're a fan?
Yeah, they're two, you know, the greatest science movies I've ever seen in my life. I don't know if that's because like things are popping out of chests and it's all very exciting. Also, I am in love with Hicks from like Alien 2, like, oh God. But anyway, every movie is just, I like is because someone's hot in it. Sensing a theme. So I wasn't expecting anything too much. All I wanted from it was to see how it was going to tie into Alien 1.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted from it.
It sort of shows that.
And I got that. I mean, some other shit happens and I don't know. I enjoyed the explosions and the visual effects. I think I was one of those people. I honestly think I was, because I wasn't invested in the story, I guess.
There was nothing to be invested in.
Like, I cared enough to see it.
Yeah.
I don't know, it was like when I was in there, I just switched off and I was like, cool, man, there's like aliens walking around. These people are really tall.
I almost rage quit it, honestly. I got really angry at it.
The rage is strong in this one.
The stupid geologist who got lost in his own mapping, he mapped it. We saw him map it, and he had the thing on his wrist, and the captain was watching them, and he got lost. I don't know how that happened. So you've got this character.
So angry.